Today's podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, well, let me explain. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. It has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other platforms. You don't even have to think about it. You just load up your podcast, you drop it in, you tweak it, you add ads. You can make money from your podcast. There's no minimum listenership either. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Club Cool puts the podcast out on Anchor. So do all the other Wash Media podcasts. And we've done this from other platforms. Nothing is as seamless or pretty or easy or just, perfect for putting out a podcast. So check out Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to the club.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool podcast. I am your host, Barrett Dudley, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. We're doing a little home and home here thing. It's Sunday Scaries own Will DeFries. Will, good to have you. What's going on?
Pleasure to be present in the club today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Phil is still, slanging wine bottles left and right.
It's what do you do?
It's what he do now. So we're happy to have another guest on. Will, it's a Friday. Last night it was my company Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving slow.
That's okay.
I don't know if you can hear it in my voice.
You can.
It was it was at Don's Depot. If you're familiar with Austin, it's a dive bar, but it's this quirky, like super Western small honky tonk with like all carpet and like tons and tons of Christmas decorations, and it's always packed. And I just spent like 4 hours just screaming to like for my voice to be heard, and you know what I mean? Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. Is it always Christmas themed there, or do they just always have Christmas lights up? I've only been around the holidays, and so I've never actually known.
So they've definitely found themselves on that list of like. I feel like this is a thing that's big in cities right now. It's like the Christmas bar.
Yeah, it's always Christmas.
Yeah, and so we have a couple here. There's like Nickel City and Lala's Little Nugget. And I think Don's may have just like slipped into it. I don't think that it was always Christmas all the time there. And then I think maybe like the pandemic rolled around and they were just like, yeah, we're leaving it up.
Yeah, we don't have the help to take down these decorations, so we're a Christmas bar now.
Yeah, there's more stuff in there around the holidays. Yeah. They do like the snowflakes and there's like Christmas trees and stuff like that. But I think they just leave the Christmas lights up all the time.
Yeah.
Have you been to any of these spots like Miracle on 5th Street or any of the Christmas bar pop-ups?
I haven't. The only Christmas bar pop-up that I go to, and I don't even know if this is defined as a pop-up, is Gibson Street.
Okay. Yeah, they decorate well. That's another good one.
Yeah, when Micah and I have always managed to find ourselves there each Christmas season. I'm actually going out to dinner with him tomorrow night near there, so I'm going to venture to guess that I find myself there again.
That sounds nice.
But that's the one place, and I think the reason I like that is because it's not always overrun with people. Sometimes you can slide in and get a good spot without having to you don't have to make reservations, things like that. Whereas the other places, I feel like it's tough.
Are you doing any White Russians or any Christmassy, pepperminty, schnapsy drinks?
Sally just sent an Instagram reel to me today requesting that we do this tomorrow night before dinner. And they are Espresso Martinis with a peppermint rim.
Mm.
I don't see myself doing the peppermint rim part of it, but
okay.
I will make a good espresso martini. Maybe we do have some peppermint flavored coffee that I think I could incorporate into the actual espresso martini.
Peppermint flavored coffee?
Yeah,
you're buying flavored coffee over there?
Sally likes to go crazy with her
brewing up peppermint coffee in the morning?
Her Nespresso pod is game is very out there, and she always gets the seasonal flavors, of which I don't truly enjoy that much.
Yeah.
But given that it's the only one we have currently that's not 2 ounces, it's the only 7-ounce one that we have right now. I've been doing a lot of them.
So this is an at-home espresso martini.
Yes.
Making
yes
thing that you've got going.
I've gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah.
A listener sent me a bottle of Mr. Black. It's a coffee liqueur.
Okay.
With cold brew, whatever. I don't even know what's in it. but they have some recipes on their website, and honestly, they've made some very good espresso martinis out of it. I'm very, very pleased.
So wait, so what all is actually in an espresso martini?
I've been doing espresso, the cold brew liqueur from Mr. Black, simple syrup, which I only do about half of because everything else is sweet enough.
Yep.
Vodka, and I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have really known, I don't think.
I didn't know. The first time I ever thought of making one, I was like, what, do I just need like
Espresso and vodka? Yeah.
But I realized the liqueur is an important part, and you definitely need the sweetness of a little bit of simple syrup in order to cut it.
Yeah. Yeah, Don's has they've got many specialty Christmas drinks, but like the very famous one is called the Grinch, and it is it's a green white Russian that is like full of peppermint. It comes with like a little peppermint or a candy cane in there, and I used to enjoy one of these, and then one time I saw like the trash can next to where they were making them, and it was just like 47 cartons of half and half. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this again.
I know. Last year I bought eggnog for the first time. I'm not a big eggnog guy. It wasn't something we had growing up, but I decided to get some. And I got some from like a farm that had like no preservatives in it. And I was faced with drinking an entire gallon of like eggnog before it went bad in 3 days. And I was like, this isn't what I signed up for. Like they need to sell single servings that you can mix with something instead of selling like the big jugs of it.
Yeah. Yeah, eggnog. It's eggnog season. Somebody was actually just DM'd me recently because I always talk about the eggnog that I consider the GOAT. It's available at Total Wine. It's the Pennsylvania Dutch brand.
Okay,
that's the one you got to get. They sell out. Don't know. It might be too late already here on December 10th. I'm not sure, but that's if you're looking for a pre-mixed eggnog that does not expire in 3 days. It's the Pennsylvania Dutch. Go check it out at Total Wine. That's the good stuff, but it's you need like just a few ounces at a time.
We were going to have a holiday party this year in celebration of Tommy Fury of Love Island fame fighting Jake Paul, but unfortunately Tommy Fury has backed out of that fight, and Sally is the biggest Love Island fan I know. She has backed out of doing the holiday party that night. Right, it was right before we were going to send out invites to people.
Wait. You were going to do a holiday party for the Jake Paul fight?
Correct, yeah.
Because Tommy Fury is a Love Island person?
Correct, yes. Yes. It was going to be a lot of different worlds colliding for our holiday party, but it was going to be a holiday-themed fight party where I was planning on making espresso martinis and eggnog stuff. But
that party really could have been the intersection of style and pop culture.
It might still happen, but I don't know if the fight will be purchased by us for that party.
Yeah, I've never watched a Jake Paul fight.
I haven't either, but if I was going to watch one, it was going to be with my boy from Love Island.
Does he have like an awesome Cockney accent?
He does. He does. Yeah, he's Mancunian.
He's a real geezer.
And he's got a good accent. He's an engaging guy, but apparently his boxing skills leave a little left to be desired.
I went at this party. I went full Canadian tuxedo.
Love it.
Did a little, howler denim shirt, denim jacket, jeans, boots, bolo tie. Full throttle.
Did you get any kit pics?
I took a selfie. I'll have to throw one up. But Christmas parties seem like an opportunity to. It's like borderline costume territory. Everybody puts on like some type of velvet sport coat or something like that.
Yes.
Maybe don a little Christmas hat. But it's definitely, you got Black Watch plaid out there, all sorts of very, very festive things that I feel, and for some reason I've just always find myself leaning into taking the opportunity to essentially put on a costume for holiday party.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have my holiday party outfit chosen for this year yet, but I do plan on going a little over the top because everyone else seems to. And so I figure it's my time to shine this year. I'm not just going to do like a nice sweater and pants.
Well, hopefully it's not 85 degrees on the
honestly,
on
even
the
if it is, I'm still going to volume shoot some Western fit that I have no business wearing.
Okay.
I have to do it. I'm going to ask them to turn the thermostat down at the restaurant to like 59.
Yeah. All right. Will, you're an aesthetic guy.
I love a good aesthetic.
You create a beautiful aesthetic on the Sunday Scaries Instagram account, which you're probably following, even if you don't know you're following it. It's
doing ginormous numbies
We're
over
shadow banned, but we're still doing numbies nonetheless.
there. Yeah. How many followers you get over there?
80,000. We hit it last
Wow.
weekend. Yeah, Brett and I were out having drinks, and I was like, "Oh, Brett, we just hit 80K."
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed by how fast it's grown. This year, it's grown crazy.
What's the growth been like over the last like 12 months? Did you go from like 20 to 80?
No, 20. It was pretty much at 20 when the pandemic started, and that's when I kind of started doing more of the meme format stuff, which it pretty much all is now. And then from there, it's gone up. I think it started the year around 50 or 45 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, there's been a couple posts that have gone crazy, and what I've learned is that it's wild to see how one post can immediately add 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind how it works.
I feel like that for some reason that only happens on Instagram. You see somebody that has a viral tweet, and it's got like 40,000 retweets, 800,000 likes, and then you click into their profile and they have like 1,200 followers.
I had a Christmas tweet go off a couple years ago, and it did the biggest numbers I've ever done. And I lost followers after tweeting it. Like, I had a net negative after that. I was like, yeah, Twitter is such a weird place. Like, Twitter, you have to be consistently entertaining. Whereas Instagram, like, one post can get people in as long as your page looks good.
So how would you kind of describe the vibe of the Sunday Scaries Instagram?
I would say it's as if the world only existed between the months of October and November.
Okay.
And there's a lot of green and tan influences. I've definitely hopped on that train. But like the vintage 90s to early 2000s cozy fall.
It's cozy.
That's what I want. That's all I care about.
I saw that you and the Circling Back guys did a holiday movie draft, and you just your lane was wide open. Nobody was even selecting from the same pool as you.
I told Dylan after, I was like, the movies that I chose, like I didn't even need to like worry about you guys taking them. Like I chose all the except for Home Alone, I chose all the romantic comedies that like no one really cared about.
It's what it was: Family Stone, The Holiday, and what was
Love
the other
Actually
one?
was one of them.
And Love Actually,
Home Alone.
yes, yeah. You've Got Mail was just on TV as I was leaving the house. That also kind of like gives me that the vibe of what you're putting out, and it fits into that cozy autumn New York 90s 2000s type thing.
Oh, I think You've Got Mail has more to do with the brand that's been created than more than anything at this point.
I know that you were already experiencing this massive growth before this all happened, but Taylor Swift did the 10-minute All Too Well, which felt very, very much up this whole alley. Like it felt like it. I think I saw some references to either like Tumblr Autumn or Sad Girl Autumn.
Yes,
and it really brought this. I mean, just the scarf alone, the Gyllenhaal, the scarf thing alone.
I think even before All Too Well, even like Folklore and Evermore, they were still dipping into that autumn, that Tumblr autumn aesthetic. Like it was. The covers alone, the all lowercase, like I felt like I was on Tumblr when I was hanging out with those albums, which I did a lot of.
Did you did you dive into the most recent Taylor Swift album and the long Taylor's version of All Too Well?
I have listened to All Too Well, the 10-minute version. I've also watched her SNL performance, but I have not dipped into the actual album. I didn't get on the Taylor Swift train until 1989, really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I respected what she was doing, but 1989 was the first time where I was like listening to her album front to back, and so I haven't dipped in yet. Is she gonna re-record the other ones? Because like,
she's doing all of them.
Okay, if she's redoing 1989, then I feel bad for my Spotify 2022 Wrapped already.
Well, I know it's expensive to produce all the things that she's doing and to go back and re-record like that, but it does make me wonder why other artists haven't done this. Because
I think they need a lawsuit in order to do it. And I think she's the only one who had the money to pay for that. Unless I'm incorrect, I have no idea. Because like Kesha should be doing this, right?
Right,
she's in like debatably like the same or worse situation than Taylor Swift was in.
Maybe it's just the clout that Taylor has because she's confident enough and is big enough and has a large enough fan base that like everybody is going to go listen to the Taylor version.
Yeah,
they are going to, and in fact might make that the main version that they pick because they're backing her, right?
For sure.
And so it's like, if Kesha goes back and re-records TikTok, like, are you going to listen to that version, or are you going to go to the OG?
She's got diehards in the club, but maybe
Yeah.
not like diehards that are just rolling around town in their car listening to TikTok.
Yeah, so it's I guess it's probably a pretty special circumstance that Taylor Swift is able to pull it off. But the other thing that I was thinking about musically recently is why more artists don't do Christmas albums.
It seems like a layup.
Like,
I still listen to Bieber's.
Yeah, and like Adele. You know how many copies of a Christmas album Adele would sell?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal choice for a Christmas album.
Do you think she's just like hanging on to that in her back pocket?
Yeah, like that might be like a, I need some money down the line. Let's just do that one.
Yeah, okay.
Because like she would be perfect for it.
Yes, I would immediately. I just, we need some new Christmas songs.
Yeah, I love it when Bieber hits that "Shawty with You" line, but like I can only do it so many times every Christmas season.
And yeah, Adele seems like the she's my choice for next Christmas bop. If anybody can, like,
anything to get the Ariana Grande stuff out of my head.
They've
been playing it at the restaurant next to me all the time, and I can hear it when I'm going to bed every night, and I can't do it anymore. I like it, but like it's officially been ruined for this year at least.
Yeah. There are a couple other aesthetics within the fashion and style world that I want to get your take on, Will. But first, let's hear from today's sponsor. Cool Kids. Will, I know you're going to appreciate this one, actually. I'm excited to partner up and introduce you guys to Soul Savvy. Today's podcast is brought to you by Soul Savvy, which is here to help you get the sneakers you want and avoid paying resale. Does not matter if you're an OG, if you're new to the game, if you just started collecting, you've been doing this for 20 years, Soul Savvy is for every sneaker enthusiast looking to grow their collection. In the last few years, the shoe game has become more about profit than passion. If you don't have the plug or any connects, you're probably taking L's.
Probably taking L's.
I know that I am. I've been taking lots for several years now. Well, I feel like, this was something that you were pretty interested in and involved in. And I got to think that the atmosphere around it, the never being able to get what you want, kind of had to be a piece of what soured you on it.
It was. I absolutely hated it. Like the only sneakers that I was buying for a long period of time were, the exciting drops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have the sneakers app on my phone anymore because I had such a struggle getting stuff that I was like, I don't even want to deal with it at this point.
Yeah.
And so a service like this sounds absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, Soul Savvy is here to help with that. It's built by sneakerheads for sneakerheads. They help you at each stage of a shoe drop, making sneakers more fun and accessible for their members. So here's what you get. When you join Soul Savvy, you get exclusive info like early access links and release guides. They have a drop alerts feature. A bunch of really cool stuff. They have like direct add to cart links. So you just click one link and boom, you're there. There's Assist by Soul Savvy, which is an autofill Chrome extension. And there's even a raffle management tool, which essentially like helps you enter every possible raffle without having to go through each individual website and like log in and do all your stuff. It's extremely helpful. The way I like to describe it is it's basically everything but the bot. They even offer hands-on one-to-one support from their team of experts. They have live training sessions. They prepare members for each key release. So when it comes time to cop, just remember Soul Savvy. They're going to help you get there. They help you shave precious seconds off of checkout processes as well. So here is what you do. Go to soulsavvy.com/clubcool for 40% off your first month.
Ooh.
That's right. 40% off your first month. soulsavvy.com/clubcool. I'm going to spell it for you. It's SOLESAVY.com/clubcool. Get the sneakers you want. Avoid resell. Join Soul Savvy and thank me later. A lot of really cool stuff going on. There's like there's a Discord involved as well. So it's really, it's quite the setup if you're looking to grab some sneakers and not be paying absurd resale prices. So.
Do you have any heat on your feet today, Barrett?
Yeah, I've got some. I've got the Nike Sakai Blazers.
Okay.
Which was probably the last time that I won that I took a W on sneakers on the sneakers app, like you mentioned. It's borderline impossible. Okay, Will. So have you ever heard this phrase? Everybody in Soho dresses like this now, or
I hadn't
everybody
heard
in
it until I Googled it and saw a GQ article, and then I was like, okay, this is making more sense to me now.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it began. I think it was more of a Twitter thing than an Instagram thing. Kind of probably bubbled and like 2018 or 2019. But it basically was, it is what it sounds like. It's like the one look that every like kind of like hipster douche fashion guy is gravitating towards, and then suddenly everybody in Soho is essentially looking like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that when GQ did that article in early 2020, it was like a lot about like the short beanies, above the ear, and like I think big long coats, that type of stuff. They singled out Harry and Marv as like
it's good. I'm imagining the photo of Jonah Hill and what's the other dude from Superbad?
Michael Cera
walking down the street. Like that's what I'm imagining for that time period of that article. There's a famous photo of them walking down the street together with like I don't know, they're just decked out in streetwear.
Yes, and a lot of times, like as we've come into this Instagram age, this everybody in Soho dresses like this now kind of overlaps with like the look that is most trending on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I would say like last year, for example, it definitely matched up. It was like Carhartt double knees or the vintage Carhartt jacket, and everybody was wearing Dunks, vintage Dunks or Jordan 1s basically. Mm-hmm. And that was like, very much the thing. That involved a lot of vintage, which has continued to be a very, very, very big deal, especially when it comes to this Instagram look. And now the 2021 going into 2022 look on Instagram, I saw a caption describing it perfectly. I did not come up with this. Didn't even know the phrase until I saw one person post this. But it's Cold War cowboy.
Okay.
Now, the mashup of these two things is, it's what it sounds like. It's Western, and somehow it feels very Russian. And it's like it's this look that's spun off of the one that I described with the Carhartt and the Dunks, but it's like very flared jeans, mm-hmm. and these jeans need to look vintage. They need to look like you like paid $7 for them at Goodwill,
and you have been wearing them for 20 years.
And have been wearing them for 20 years, and then Western boots or some type of like very chunky boot. And then some type of crazy jacket or sweater vest is happening.
I'm seeing like a suede jacket, like Yellowstone, but like if you stepped on Dutton Ranch, you'd get the shit beaten out of you.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. And then to cap it all off, the thing that a lot of these outfits also have is like a high crown trucker cap, mesh trucker cap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's the piece of it that's so interesting to me is not the Western influence, because Western has been kind of coming up on us for a while, whether it's from Yellowstone
especially down here. Like I feel like down here everyone has an excuse to lean a little Western, and so you just see it more. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like that's my mentality. I'm like, you know what? If there's a city I can get away with some Western stuff in, it's Austin.
Absolutely. But the piece of it that's so weird to me is like this is the Cold War element. Is this like this piece of it that looks very like Russian youth in the 80s or 90s. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's just the vintage thing playing a role. Like, because like, when you look back at old photos that kind of like, evoke this look, or even like, I think about movies like Trainspotting.
Yeah.
This kind of like where it's like this almost like, or even American History X. It's like, it's got some like skinhead or soccer hooligan.
Yeah, it's the hooliganism kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the one movie that almost gave me a panic attack.
American History X?
Trainspotting.
Trainspotting. Yeah.
I was really hungover one night.
They both will do that.
I was like, let's watch this British film. Let's have some fun. And then like when he was in bed just freaking out, staring at the ceiling, and the baby was crawling, I was like, yeah, it's over for me. This is how it ends.
Yes. Yeah. Trainspotting is I'm with you. I think it's the most scarring movie I've ever watched.
Dude, I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought it was going to be like a Guy Ritchie film that was just like a lot of action happening and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, we're relapsing right now.
Yeah.
This is not what I was wanting.
So yeah, it's just it's got this very like like it's this nonchalance that's almost like grungy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just finding it very interesting that this is what is kind of like what's taken over, because for so long it was I feel everybody wanted such polish, right? And now that this is almost like the antithesis of this. It's designed for Instagram. At this point, it's all very like the proportions really stand out. So photos that have this look are super distinct. I think they pop off your feed, and I think that's what, like, everything is shifting that way. It's like it's gotta stand out on the feed. Yeah,
I mean, you have one of the. Can I dive into one of the?
Yeah, please,
you have
please.
Listed? I don't know how to say it.
Kiko?
No, the other one.
Gosha Rubinsky.
Yeah,
I think he got canceled, but he's definitely one of the.
Get canceled in a way. I remember I had some shorts from him, and when I ordered them online, I thought I knew what I was going to expect. Then I got them in the mail, and they were so much differently proportioned than what I was expecting. I enjoyed it, but it was a little jarring when I put them on for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, these aren't just like athletic shorts. These are a little higher fashion athletic shorts that are going to make me like. People are going to turn their head and be like, why is he wearing these baggy ass 5-inch inseam soccer shorts?
Did you hold on to those?
I have them somewhere.
You gonna play some footy in them?
I would like to. I will say that the lining in them is a little tight.
Okay.
So I'm a little worried. I might have to put some baby powder down there if I'm doing some running and sweating.
Yeah, if you pull up just like, the Google image search of Gosha, you'll get a little bit of this. Everybody has a shaved head. Everybody is like standing in front of concrete in some way, shape, or form.
It looks like everyone just got off a bender and they're looking to like straighten things out for the next couple of days. Like, it's just hardcore. Like, it does have soccer hooligan vibes to me. Like,
definitely. Gosha especially did. He did collaborate, like you're saying. He did a lot of soccer stuff that was pretty specific. And then another one who's been really popular with the kind of the fashion set that is getting into this look is Kiko Kostatinov. I want to say is how I'm going to go there with the pronunciation.
No clue.
May have botched it. But he's doing a lot of this stuff that feels very Russian, that feels very true to his background, and has this like, I really think I think the hooligan is really what he's doing, like these running shoes with Asics that feel very 90s, and like that's definitely a good way to describe the vibe that we're getting here.
The people at home can't see this, but there's a book that I read when I was in high school, and it's about soccer hooliganism. It's called Among the Thugs, and it's apparently the best account for soccer hooliganism as to what it's actually like. And I almost think that part of Green Street Hooligans might have been based off of this.
Okay.
But tell me that the guy on the cover doesn't look like he could easily slide into an Instagram slideshow with a bunch of these clothes right now. Like, that guy's built for that role.
Absolutely.
But it's a guy from, like, I don't know, I don't even know what year it was, a long time ago.
Here, this is. I've just found an excellent example of Cold War Cowboy. This guy, Mark Butiller. I'm not sure how you say his last name either. He's like a young Gen Z kid that has amassed a very, very large following.
Gen Zers dressing like this is just blowing my mind.
And he's got this kit pick on Instagram, which is insane. I'm pretty sure this vest is the Kiko Kostatinov brand. The leather jacket here is like the Cold War piece. Mm-hmm. It looks like it was, he definitely thrifted that thing in 1978. And then the pants are
the most flared the most flared they could possibly be.
Yeah. So, this is one that I'm like you're saying, like it's fun to get a little Western here in Texas, but this whole the Cold War Cowboy is something that I think I'm gonna have to pass on.
I mean, the thing is, like, if you put this on paper, it might be perfect for me. Like a little Western wear sprinkled in with a little bit of soccer hooliganism. Like, that sounds right up my alley, but this is so aggressive. I don't think I can actually go down that path.
The flared pants is I think that's what takes it like out of the realm of actual wearability.
Yes.
I think.
Oh, I have dad legs, and so I'm very weird about the pants that I wear. Like I don't know why. I think it more has to do with how I feel in the pants as opposed to how they look on me. But like there are just very few cuts of pants that I feel comfortable wearing out, and I will say that flared is one style that I just don't see myself ever going down. Even wide leg at this point is like it's jarring for me. It's surprising to put something on and be like, oh, this is not messing around.
You when you like some of this stuff, like just think about like your friends wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like, can you think about your friends wearing like some giant ass flared pants?
No, you
like,
can't show up to Matt's El Rancho wearing flared pants and expect everyone to not roast you.
That's right. Yeah.
I might have to do that just to rattle Dylan a little bit.
He would get a kick out of that. I would like to see his face.
He would just look at me and go, "What are you wearing?"
Another aesthetic that I wanted to bring up. This is one that I've known for quite some time, but never known that it had this name. I just recently learned this thanks to members of Club Cool's Discord, by the way, which you get access to if you join us on patreon.com/Club Cool. Check it out. Are you familiar with the aesthetic sexcore?
You know, I didn't think I was until I Googled it, and then it made a lot more sense to me. And honestly, this has a lot of ties to like the English culture.
It does,
like,
very much so. Yes.
This is what I was referring to as bruvcore for a long time, and that was just something that I came up with on my own. But now I know that bruvcore is in fact sexcore.
Yes, this is. I always would reference this look, this aesthetic, as like what not to do back in the days of everything being super slim and skinny, right?
Yeah,
it's like you want stuff that's tailored, you want stuff that fits you well, you want pants that have a nice taper and not a lot of break. But the Europeans and specifically the Brits took this to like a whole nother level.
Some of the photos are hilarious.
Where everything is like nothing in this photo that I've got pulled up. If you're watching on youtube.com/washmedia, everything here has like at least 12% spandex.
Dude, yeah. And what's really jarring about this stuff is that you have to be absolutely shredded in order to pull off the look that these guys are attempting to pull off.
Yes. And that is 50% of it at least. It wasn't just, it's not just a fashion look or aesthetic. It is absolutely like a body aesthetic as well. You have to, you gotta be shredded. You have to go get huge in the gym.
It's like if Jersey Shore studied abroad in London, or like, it's just outrageous. The photo that you just had pulled up of the four guys standing there, that got really big during the Wellerman song era of 2021.
The sea shanty?
Yeah, the sea shanty time. That because somebody edited a video of those guys singing a sea shanty song, and I couldn't get over it. Like it was just.
Wait, this picture exactly?
Yes, they instead of having it be a picture, they did something where they edited their mouths singing together. And
okay.
It's the perfect video. I'll send it to you. I'll post it somewhere.
Is this how your dudes on Love Island are dressing?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because I never realized that people actually dressed like that. And I don't know if the most recent Love Island had it as much as the previous seasons, but it's definitely a theme that you see. I mean, all through the day on Love Island, you see these people wearing bikinis and workout clothes. That's all you see them wearing. They might have some Yeezy Boost 350s poolside, which is always an interesting look to me. But at night, they all get dressed up to the nines as if they're going out to a club, even though they're just hanging out at the villa.
Yeah.
And these guys will come out wearing sexcore clothes. And it's like, what? Like this looks uncomfortable.
It's I can't with I love this this one with the same guy in 3 different sexcore looks and it's somebody has added boys with a good sense of style on top.
The proportions of the really tight pants with the absolutely shredded upper body, it just makes it looks like a cartoon character almost.
Dude, I want to talk to the birds, to the British, to the British young ladies out there about what they liked about this or what they do like about this, because it's so intense.
It's something that you cannot. I'm trying to think of cities where you could pull this off and not get like weird looks in the United States, and the only one I can think of is Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know where else you could wear that and not have people be like, "What is this? What is this guy?"
There is. If you watch the American reality shows, Bachelor, whatever, and like, you know, I just watched Fuckboy Island on HBO Max this last summer. You get a little bit of this. Like those dudes are definitely still very much into super slim pants with a exaggerated crop, you know?
Oh, you see it on the Bachelor with suits
ankle.
a lot. Like there's some guys that are wearing suits that are absolutely painted on them.
And it's not quite as intense as some of this sex core stuff, which is, I mean, it's like I said, like look at this one right here. Like this dude, he must struggle to put these jeans on.
I don't understand. Like they all have rips in the jeans, and I don't understand how you can put those on without somehow making the rip like twice as big every single time.
Like this is straight up. It's designed to show every muscle in his body.
Like you can see the differentiation between like the ankle and the calf muscle so defined on a pair of jeans.
It's insane. So yeah, the American bruvs, they get into a little bit of this, but it's not quite as. It's just not as exaggerated. It's not quite as spandexy and tight and legging and compression like.
I might go sex core for Halloween next year.
That'd be good group costume. Just get a bunch of dudes, go sex core.
There's the only way I imagine British people dressing in three different ways. One is like this in the sex core skin tight stuff. The other is like English countryside clothing, which is the total opposite. And then there's just dudes wearing Stone Island everywhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick this Stone Island.
I just can't afford Stone Island. I want one signature Stone Island piece, so when I eventually go to a match over there again, I can just rock that out and try to fit in. But I don't know if I can stomach that, especially given the fact that it's so expensive and we live in a place where it's 82 degrees in December.
Right. Yeah, December 10th, 82. All right. Well, today's podcast is also brought to you by Early Bird CBD. Now, if you listen to any of the Wash Media podcasts, I'm sure you've heard of this stuff. It's great, especially the gummies is what we really want to talk about today. Early Bird gummies are a recreational hemp product and contain around 2.5 milligrams of natural THC and about 12.5 milligrams of CBD in each gummy. They're formulated for fun, and they make you feel good. I've got a bottle of these sitting at the house. I'm not going to lie. When I get home today, it might be just about time for one of these. Kind of take.
You might need one more than anybody.
Take me all the way down from what I'm experiencing at the moment. They make you feel good. To expand on this a little bit, there are a ton of different use cases for CBD. Right? Some folks use them to relax. Some folks use them to pregame a little bit before going out. Some folks like to get that little buzz before they hit the beach, go see a movie, whatever it might be. But what it comes down to is that CBD or Early Bird has formulated just a microdose of THC to make you feel great without getting lit. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a nice hybrid. It's a very nice kind of combination that they've come up with to just keep you on the level. You know, Early Bird is also based in Austin, and they're all about local mom and pop shops. Check them out. Use the code STEAM at earlybirdcbd.com. That's STEAM, code STEAM, for 20% off everything. These discount codes, they are single use, which means that you can only use them one time. Mm-hmm. So stock up.
Load that cart.
What's your favorite flavor of the CBD gummies?
Wow. I have two answers to this.
Okay.
The watermelon is probably my favorite from a flavor standpoint.
Yep.
But the bottle that I have of the lemon ones are higher in the THC content than the other ones, and so I've just been hitting those lately.
Well, that's
I'm really
good to
trying
know.
to get a good night's rest.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like that across the board. They all taste good, and as Dave said recently, he's like, they taste good enough that it's hard for me to eat just one. Like I want to have a little bowl of them and eat them while I'm watching something.
Yeah, it's like they're gummy bears, but now be careful. Don't treat them quite like that.
No, trust me. Taken from the one of the guys that I know very well from Early Bird. He said, start with one and see how you feel. And then if you want to take two or more at any point in your life, just know what you're going in with, because you can find yourself glued to the couch being like, oh, went off.
Yeah. Strawberry, I think, is the third flavor.
Sorry, did I said watermelon?
No, the watermelon's good too. I like the watermelon.
Yes.
But the strawberry is what I took most recently and also very much enjoyed that. They got all sorts of stuff on the website, by the way. They got gummies. They've got CBD infused honey. So go check it out. Once again, that's earlybirdcbd.com and use the code STEAM for 20% off of your order. All right, Will, we are back, and man, I don't have a ton more for us to talk about today, but what do you got going on? What's on your we did wish list on Sunday Scaries.
Yes.
Got any updates to what you're after personally?
It's been tough, man. I don't like making Christmas lists this time of year. It's very difficult for me to put stuff together and not feel guilty about it. I'm giving my parents nothing to sort out. I'm just hoping that they just don't get me that much this year. But when it comes to Sally, she needs a little guidance, and it's been difficult. Like I think she feels uncomfortable buying me clothes for Christmas because she's worried it's not going to fit unless I send her a direct link to something.
Yeah.
I got the early access ALD email yesterday for the uniform stuff, and I said something to her about it, and she was like, "Well, send that to me." And I was like, "Sally, I don't need anything from this. Please don't go down that road." I don't know. The most recent thing I told her that I need is a tennis racket. I got some of the Roger Federer tennis shoes. From, I think they were released on Kith. And I bought them just because I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I actually need to wear these on the tennis court, and I don't have a relevant tennis racket at this point since my tennis racket's from 2005.
I don't even know where to go to get a tennis racket.
I think they've got tennis shops and stuff, but I told her part of the reason I'm having her do it is because my brother-in-law is super into tennis, and I was like, he will figure it out. So go to him, default on whatever he says, and I'll be happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, we're in our mid-30s here. The idea of gifts, I think, becomes less interesting as the years go on, especially the need for like multiples, right? Yeah. For like to have, you know, 6 packages to open on Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, I like having stuff to open on Christmas, but I've gotten to the point where I feel guilty doing it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like especially, I don't feel guilty if it's like my wife. But if it's my parents, I'm like, you don't need to be spending this. I'm too old for you to be spending good money on stuff for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it's also like, you know, you see your parents less when you're older, and then suddenly they're just like buying you stuff, and that feels a little weird too.
I would rather they save the money and buy plane tickets down to Austin, Texas instead. Like, just take everything you would buy and just put that towards a trip to come see me and see my son and make that easy.
But we did have a good time picking some stuff on the podcast. So if you have not checked out, it's the most recent one currently.
What?
Our gift guide on Scaries.
Yeah. Last week's.
So check out the Sunday Scaries podcast. Will and I put together a verbal gift guide, but there's also a link to your Substack.
Yes.
Available where you can go check all of this stuff out.
WillDeFries.substack.com has all of that on there. I mean, I tried to get everything I could onto it. I'm not going to lie, Barrett. A lot of people have viewed this when I look at the next gen stats.
Yeah.
It somehow has done incredibly well.
I'd love to hear it.
Apologies to anybody out there who tried to access the link through the description of the Sunday Scaries podcast episode. For some reason, that link is not working for everybody. So if it's not working for you, just type it in and you'll figure it out. But yeah, the gift guide's there. I have been re-looking at this gift guide several times, being like, oh, maybe I do want this. I was actually online today. Yeah. I went in my closet because of that episode, and when I was letting my dog out today, I thought, oh, I should wear a vest out, a light vest. And I went in and I got my Adam Arc'teryx vest. I put it on. And as it turns out, I have not worn it since I got a Peloton, and it is much too big on me now. And so I've been surfing the site all morning trying to figure out which one to replace it with. But I'm just very gun shy because they don't have the color that I wanted in my size.
Yeah, it's the blankets for me. That's, you know, we went in on like throw blankets and stuff like that, and there's just some ones I want. You used. What happened is you used the one from Slow Down Studio in like the main photo that you did. Wonderful Photoshop work here, by the way.
Thank you. I was very proud of that graphic. It's not often I do something like that, but I was pretty pleased with it.
I saw this and I was like, damn, I need Will to teach, like, give me some Photoshop lessons. This is incredible.
How do you feel about getting marketing emails from companies now? Like, I mean, we're pretty deep in December with new drops on stuff. I'm like, dude, like, there needs to be a cutoff date for holiday emails because I don't want to keep wanting stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is you know, for me, I feel like I'm just like the perfect person for this. That all of these companies, they get me, you know, and the bridge from like all the Black Friday sales into more great holiday drops is very, very tough. Like I wanted you mentioned the uniform stuff that dropped on Ame. This was, and we've been talking a lot about heavyweight fleece on the podcast recently. This was 28-ounce stuff.
Big.
That's great, and the price compared to some other brands, not too shabby, to be honest. So I was geared up for this, and I just like, you know, looked at the old bank account after some Black Friday spends, and it's, I should not do this.
I bought nothing on Black Friday.
This is irresponsible.
No, I should have bought stuff on Black Friday because I'm sure there's stuff that I buy now that I didn't. Whatever. Can I add something to the gift guide?
I'd love that.
This is a candle that I bought last year, and I told myself that when they re-released it, I would buy another one because I did enjoy it so much. Not only is it a good-smelling candle, but the packaging of the candle is pretty cool, and you can use it for something after. Unfortunately, I think I broke ours during the move, so I might have to repurchase it. But Noah put out a Keith Haring collaboration. They did it last year, the famous 90s artist.
Yep.
They have a candle called Merry Christmas, New York City. And if you're in the market, I mean, I know I have my own scented candles, so I shouldn't be, pimping out other people's scented candles. But if you're looking for a good scented candle, this is very nice for somebody who might like the streetwear stuff, like Keith Haring, like a different, unique candle. And they just released it the other day. It's still in stock. I just checked. $48, so it's not a cheap scented candle. But I can vouch for it. It's a very cool packaging. It kind of looks like the little figure. I don't know if there's any special terminology used when you're talking about Keith Haring. Kind of looks like he's throwing his ass in a circle.
He did. He's all, yeah. What is he doing?
Someone asked me last year. They're like, "What is the guy doing on that candle?" I'm
Wait,
like,
so
he's clearly throwing his ass in a circle.
This Keith Haring candle, is this where it came out last year too? Is from Noah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, New York City. It's not telling me anything about the let's see, cedarwood fragrance. That's all it says.
It's woodsy. It's woodsy. I'll say that. But if you're also looking for another Christmas candle, keep an eye out on Sunday Scaries in the next couple days.
Okay.
Keep an eye out. There aren't that many of them.
You got something?
I got some heat in the. I'm hoping. I'm supposed to get a package today for final details, but we'll see.
Okay. Very good. Once again, go check out our gift guide. It's let's see. I just left the link. Give them the Substack link again.
WillDeFries.substack.com.
WillDeFries.substack.
Someone had Sunday Scaries already, and I was like, well, I'm just going to use my name. The Sunday Scaries podcast.substack.com is just a little too wordy.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd just go with the.
We got to promote the personal brand as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's all branded as Sunday Scaries, but someone else had it. And I was a little late to the Substack game, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us on a Friday. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Will, thank you again for being here, for filling in. Always good to have you. Always good to talk shop with you. Thank you to Early Bird CBD and Soul Savvy for sponsoring this week's podcast. Join the club as well. Come support the podcast directly at patreon.com/clubcool. Membership starts at just $2, plus you get a discount if you join for the whole year. And no matter which tier you choose to join, you're going to get access to the Discord, which is constantly popping off, and I learned something new in there at least once a week. You want to drop some kit pics, you want to show me your Canadian tuxedo that you wore to your Christmas party, get in there and do it. Follow us at Club Cool Pod on Instagram, and that'll do it. We'll be back next week.
Welcome to the club.